flagged off by any thought or any emotion.
That's it exactly. I couldn't agree more.
But I don't think a lot of people get that. It's kind of advanced thought.
I am
Lie down.
gifted, particularly gifted, in explaining. I don't know where that came from.
I was just gonna say, I'm so glad I'm recording this. I'm gonna write it down what you said, because that's such an amazing, like, to be able to teach breathing and stuff like this. Yes, because like, okay, like is some people like is math and science stuff that's easy for you to pay. Do you find it difficult to pay attention completely? And then it's like from there you can go to, okay, breath. But do you think about your breath? Some people have never thought about it.
Most people. I'll give you an example of what you just said as it applies to what I was saying. If, for example, in the second question about categories, they said, I'm pretty good at it, but I'm really good in this category. What category? When I read a good book, I am paying such deep attention. I said, cool. The book now is called Breathing.
Right.
Do that the way you do that. Because I found the thing you know you can do, I'm going to just substitute a thing like that thing and do what you did, but for this. That's why that works. I would never say, improve your paying attention to things you now don't pay attention well to. I don't care about that. We're going about breathing. I just wanted to find the thing you can pay attention to, and then transfer it. Because there's an experience that we are in control of. One of the things about that experience I would mention is that while you're having it, it almost negates itself. That's the loop I'm going to try to beat, that wanting to be perfect about it. It happens by itself. As you said, the deeper I get into it, the less it'll happen. So when you're reading a book and you're like, will she love him? Will he kiss her? You're not thinking I'm paying attention. You just are. That's what we're looking for. Otherwise, you're intellectualizing the process and you're having thoughts. That isn't it. That's how I would approach, based on what they already experienced.
That tells me a lot about where you are, and I love it. What I'd like to do you have anything more else to say?
I don't think so. Give me a second, I'll check.
You stay down and relax.
Yes, when I put myself in the position you asked me to be, how would I teach it? I would say, in our relationships to others, there are attachments and connections. The attachments are codependent, they're not cool, they're based on need.
Are you talking about to people or to?
Others, to people.
Okay.
There are attachments and there are connections. Attachments are codependent and based on need. You get stuck in them. And if you don't get it, you feel bad because you needed it. Connections are the opposite. You just have something going. That if you didn't have it, that would be okay. And if you did have it, that's okay too. It's nice. And that once you recognize that in your life with people, both of those are operating in different balances. Some people are just all attached. Some people have let that go, almost all, but not ever all. And they just are connected. How you would know that, I would say, is that in separation, attachment would be in great pain. Connection would be hoping and helping that person to do well after you were no longer together, because you were connected to them. The connection is a spirit-to-spirit thing. The attachment is a conditioning-to-conditioning thing.
Ego thing.
Yes. And that once they had sort of agreed or recognized or accepted or whatever it is, that they take that in, they say, oh yeah, you're right. Very often I'm this. Sometimes I'm that. I would then say, we don't want to be attached to our breathing. We want to be connected to it. That's the magic of it. That being attached to it is part of where my hitch comes from. I have a need to be perfect. So it's getting in my way. You said it'll go away, and I'm sure it will. But in terms of teaching this to a beginner, I would say to them, connect to your breathing. That the attention we're talking about is identifying you with it. It's you. Than which there is no you. That's how I would do it. And I would always Give me one last second.
Take as many as you want.
Yeah. I think I pretty much would always say, well, it's a little complicated because I tend to project onto others the problems I have, which is unreasonable.
What was in your mind just then?
The hitch.
Oh, okay.
The perfection thing.
Like thinking that, assuming that they might have that
perfect.
problem.
Everybody wants to get
Lie down and
get
stare.
kudos and A pluses. They did it so well, and that's a perfection thing, and a stroking.
Words of whatever. That's my language of love. Is words of affirmation.
Well, yeah.
My first one.
Yeah.
Lie down and stay.
Affirmation comes through connection.
No, I'm saying I'm always wanting praise like you and to
Oh,
be
well,
perfect.
yeah. Well, then that's need and that's attachment. Having said all that, I would mention as lightly as I could, but still mentioning it. I think it would be the last thing I would say. Pay attention to how it feels afterwards. Now you're not in a yoga model, you're not breathing consciously, you're not paying attention and doing all that stuff. You're just done with that for now. You've done your 20 minutes or whatever. Just for a minute or so, could be less. Just pay attention to what difference you may notice.
You just added to your homework. After the 20 minutes every morning, I want you to do that.
I do it. I'll tell
Okay.
you exactly what happens.
Well, do you want to get to some breathing right now?
Yes, let's do that.
Well, no, let's make sure you're finished though, because that was a really good neural exercise for you.
I believe that's the last thing I would say is to acknowledge to yourself how different you may feel after this than before.
And then you'd give them my phone number.
Give them
As
your
a
phone number.
referral. Lie down, I said, and stay. Okay, now what I want to do is, because I think this is going to be a better style for you, is just explain one word. I wanted to go through that quote, the breath is the doorway to meditation, the meditation. Okay, so, but pranayama is the Sanskrit word for breath. And what it means is life force energy is a common translation. But prana, life force, ayama, management of. I know you like that. But just so you know, pranayama is the management of the I wrote a paper about this actually. So think about how powerful this word is. You're managing the force of your life, right? So
Thumbs up for that.
I said that in class a lot too, like we practiced just deep, conscious, segmented breathing last time. I haven't read to the book in the book if he got to a breath called Ujjayi. It's kind of spelled funny. Do you know if it's there?
I'm not good with the names.
There's not one with like OJJ.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe there is, maybe there isn't.
So we're going to try that one. Say the alternate nostril. That's a pranayama, right?
That's in there for sure.
The lion's breath. That's a pranayama.
This
that you
one
saw.
is definitely in there. There's
Right.
also this one.
There's
Into
thousands.
the nose, out
There's
the
literally hundreds.
Okay.
But there's some basic ones. But so segmented breathing, I feel like you've mastered, which is you count your inhales and your exhales until you're in meditation and you're not counting anymore. What about 3-part breathing? Did we start that last week?
I'm not sure.
Okay, so 3-part breathing is you want to sit up and make sure. I don't know if we're going to bring you a cushion next time, but I would never have you breathing in the
I'm just leaning
anatomical.
in to listen.
Oh, okay. So you want to sit up, and what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through the nose, shoulders stay relaxed, filling up the belly from the bottom. Bottom, first part. Then the middle belly. Lift up your chest and relax your shoulders down. Then the middle belly, all the way to the top of the ribs. Fill the belly up with oxygen. And 3-part breathing. You feel like you do it in 3 parts.
1, 2, 3.
Correct. And then from the top, exhaling.
Question. When I breathe through my mouth, and I'm on the treadmill, and each day I do it since last week, I go deeper into the interval training without having to breathe through my mouth. By the end, to do it, I have to be breathing through my mouth. But I'm progressing in that way, and I can feel it, which...
I think that's building cardiovascular health, though, isn't it?
It is. That's why I started doing it before I read the book. When I
Right.
was thinking about breathing, I was thinking about my heart. Okay, my question is, before I got with you in the book, and it was all about interval training for getting the heart working, and then you'd go slower and it would relax, and then it would go harder again. There was a moment along the exercise of it. I had built it up to a pretty good speed with a big difference between the resting and the working, and had increased the time of doing it quite substantially. There was always a time along the way, and it started to come earlier and earlier in it, which I took to be a good thing. I was always breathing through my mouth during this stage. I hadn't yet read the book. Where I could fill it up to the point where, lung breathing, not stomach breathing, and mouth breathing, not nose breathing. I could fill it up to a point where I could feel I'd gotten the whole thing. There's a click there. It's not, sometimes you breathe deeply and it's not quite done.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I had reached a point, and it was always a moment of success for me.
When you could touch that bottom of your
it was
lung.
all done. You couldn't do more. Now, so in terms of the 3-part breathing, am I meant to fill the lungs?
Well, you're filling the lungs. There's no way you're breathing without your lungs.
Well,
but you're visualizing the air going into your colon, oxygenating all these organs.
How high should I visualize?
You're diaphragmically breathing up to
how high should I breathe?
Like I said in the beginning, to the top of the ribs.
The bottom of the ribs.
Top.
The top of the ribs.
Right here.
That's the top.
As far as you can go up. You know
that's
how
a good answer.
Nestor says actually in one of his videos, I'll send it to you, that you tickle something at the top of your
that's what I'm talking about.
Cavity right here. So as high up as you can go.
Thank you. That answers my question perfectly.
Great.
There was a part of me was saying, hold it, this isn't supposed to be lung breathing, it's supposed to be diaphragm breathing. So
I mean, your lungs are involved, or diaphragm, it's called diaphragmic breath.
The point is, it's not against the rules to fill your lungs.
I think
if you're doing it from the bottom.
I don't think that, baby, I don't ever want you to, your shoulders just have to stay down. The lungs are always going to be involved in breath, unless I'm wrong about.
Well, it's got to be going through there, and it's got to be going to
it's
bloodstream.
Just that most of the time we breathe into our chest, but your lungs go all the way down to behind your stomach.
My point is, doing this 3-part thing, I should not feel wary of not filling all my lungs.
I think it's going to come natural. Try right now. So let your palms face up. Put us in a field of receptivity. Feel comfortable. If you could just lift up and roll your shoulders back a little. That feels comfortable. Good. And then make sure you're not compressing your lower spine. So make sure your tailbone's tucked. You might want to lift up and make sure your tailbone's tucked.
Hold on. I don't even know what that means.
So that you're not sticking your ass out and exploiting your lumbar spine.
Okay.
And then let's try. So let's just shake a little bit. Anything. Inhale, exhale out. With the eyes closed and starting to bring awareness to a relaxed face, inhale slowly but surely, filling up your belly from the bottom. Let it expand to the sides too, not just forward. Up the middle of the tummy to the top until it's yes. Find your rhythm. So I'm gonna watch your belly, but just take 5 breaths to feel deep breaths come in and feel how you can explore your belly and oxygenate all that. Complete breaths out. Any noise or distraction just takes you deeper into your breath and into meditation. Relax your face. Unless you want wrinkles, relax your face. Relax your shoulders. Let's try to inhale when you feel your belly, and next time exhale like you're smoking a mirror. Like as if you're trying to frost a mirror.
Out the nose?
Out the mouth.
Oh, okay.
Okay. You guys couldn't go around? Sorry. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. So, like you're fogging a mirror, breathing in through the nose, and exhaling and filling up the belly. Relax your face. So breathing in, I should hear like Darth Vader.
Should that exhale be slow or fast?
It's always slow, controlled, complete, in and out. Lie down. Lie down and stay. Stop. Lie down. Lie down. Stop. Relax your face. So notice how deeply you've allowed yourself to relax. Allow yourself to go deeper. Breathe in deeper, filling the belly from the bottom, slowly but surely, and you found that cycle, that rhythm, stay with it. Maybe explore exhaling longer, but it's always comfortable and easy, full inhale, complete exhale. Try to make the space between the thoughts longer. Dwell there. 5 minutes. Any noises or distractions simply help you focus on your breath. Why don't you let the energy centers of your pointer finger and your thumb touch? So this is the seal of wisdom. Gyan Mudra. And you can let the music even catapult you deeper into your breath. You barely hear it. Good breathing. Excuse me, we're gonna finish meditation in like 10 minutes. Can you just turn that down a little? Thanks. It's loud. Lie down. Thank you so much. You can like just, as long as it's not like so loud.
Is that okay?
I can't hear it at all now, so it's perfect.
Okay.
But yeah, no, it just was a little loud, the volume.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna add inhaling to the third eye point, between and slightly above your eyebrows, and exhaling to the center of your heart. Now you'll experience this connection for yourself. Inhale, third eye point, between and slightly above your eyebrows. Ajna chakra is also your pineal gland, intuition. Exhale, draw a line down to the center of the heart. Breathe in, third eye. Allow your heart center to expand. Any excess mind energy you send down to the center of the heart with the exhale, allowing the heart chakra to open just a little more. We're going to work with light. When you inhale to the third eye point, you bring in light. When you exhale down to the center of the heart, you swirl the healing white light energy all over. Breathe in light, comes through the third eye point. Exhale, move it all over. Exhale more. Good. Explore deeper inhales each time you breathe. Longer exhales each time you release. Breathe light inside your mind. When you inhale the light through the third eye point, allow it to pass through the mind. Don't let there be any areas of darkness. When you find them, illuminate them with breath. how deeply you've allowed yourself to let go even more. Give yourself permission to go deeper.